The desert wind howled like a warning the night Jack Carter saw the lights. He had been riding alone for 3 days. No towns, no travelers, no sound except the steady rhythm of his horse and the whisper of sand moving across empty land. The map in his pocket showed nothing ahead for 50 miles. But the lights were real. A town stood in the distance, glowing, silent, waiting. Jack narrowed his eyes. Something felt wrong. No smoke from chimneys. No voices. No dogs barking. Just stillness. Yet the lights burned bright. He rode closer. The wooden sign at the entrance creaked slowly in the wind. Welcome to Hollow Creek. Jack had never heard of it. And in the West, a town you never heard of usually meant one thing: trouble. The silent streets. Most got. Jack stepped into Hollow Creek just past midnight. Every building stood intact. The saloon doors swayed slightly. A lantern burned near the sheriff's office. A piano sat inside the saloon. Keys untouched, but one note echoed faintly, as if played long ago and still refusing to die. But there were no people. No bodies. No bodies. No signs of struggle. Nothing. Just absence. Jack's boots echoed across the wooden street. Then, a voice. Voice. Leave before morning. Jack spun, hand on his revolver. No one there. The wind blew harder. He entered the saloon. Dust covered the tables, but not evenly. Some chairs were pulled out recently. A glass sat on the counter, still wet. Someone had been here, or was still here. The man without footsteps. Behind him, the door creaked open. Jack turned slowly. A tall man stood in the doorway, pale, still, eyes cold. But something was wrong. He cast no shadow. Stranger, the man said calmly, Hollow Creek does not keep visitors. Jack studied him. Then why are the lights on? Jack asked. The man smiled faintly. To guide the lost. Jack's hand hovered near his gun. Where is everyone? The man stepped forward. Still no footsteps. They stayed until sunrise. A cold chill ran through Jack. What happens at sunrise? Jack asked quietly. The man's smile vanished. You should not see it. Then the lanterns flickered. And suddenly, the streets outside filled with whispers. Hundreds of them. The town's secret. Jack rushed outside. Figures stood across the street, pale, silent townspeople, staring. Men, women, children. None moving, none breathing, none alive. Jack's pulse thundered. They are not ghosts, said the shadowless man behind him. They are prisoners. Of what? Jack demanded. The man raised a finger toward the eastern hills. Of him! The ground trembled. From beyond the hills came a deep, heavy sound, like chains dragging across stone. Jack gripped his revolver. The shadowless man whispered, When the sun rises, he comes to collect. The rider of chains. The horizon glowed faintly. Dawn was coming. And with it, thunder. A dark figure appeared on the ridge, a rider cloaked in black, dragging burning chains behind his horse. The air grew cold. The lanterns burst one by one. The silent townspeople began walking, slowly, toward the street. Like sleepwalkers. Like sacrifices. Jack stepped forward. "What is he?" Jack asked. The shadowless man answered, "The price this town paid for greed." Years ago, Hollow Creek discovered silver beneath the desert. They made a pact with a wandering outlaw, a man said to control death itself. He promised wealth, protection, and power. In return, every year, he would take the town's souls. And none could resist. Jack looked at the approaching rider. "And you?" "I tried to stop him," the man whispered. "Now I am trapped between life and death." The rider reached the town entrance. Chains burned across the ground. The townspeople stopped moving, heads lowered, waiting. Jack Carter stepped into the street. Gun drawn. "I don't believe in curses," Jack said calmly. The rider laughed, deep and hollow. "You will." The duel beyond death. The chains lashed forward, wrapping around Jack's arm, burning cold, not hot. Jack fired. The bullet passed through the rider. But the rider did not fall. The shadowless man shouted, "Not his body, his chain! Break the chain!" Jack saw it, the glowing chain linking the rider to the earth, buried beneath the street. Jack ran. Chains whipped after him. He dove, grabbed a fallen pickaxe, and struck the chain. Once. Twice. Crack. The rider screamed, a sound like mountains breaking. The sky exploded with light. The chain shattered. The rider dissolved into dust. Silence fell. The townspeople collapsed, breathing again. Alive. Free. The town that remained. Morning sunlight touched Hollow Creek. For the first time in years, birds sang. People cried, hugged, prayed. The shadowless man stood beside Jack, now casting a shadow. "You broke the curse," he said softly. Jack nodded. "What was your name?" Jack asked. The man smiled faintly. "Sheriff Daniel Hayes." And slowly, he faded into sunlight. Free at last. The lone rider leaves. Jack Carter mounted his horse. The town behind him, real now, alive, no longer cursed. A boy ran up. "Mister, will you stay?" Jack looked back once, then shook his head. "No, my road is still long." He tipped his hat and rode into the desert. Behind him, Hollow Creek stood, no longer the town that didn't exist, but the town that remembered. And somewhere in the wind, a whisper followed. "Jack Carter rides again."